very handicapped right now. He hasn't skied for over 13 years, but he taught here in Crystal Mountain with me. And he hired me to stay with him to teach the instructors in Bittersweet when they first opened, and he took that job. And we stayed with him in a little house over there. And I taught beginner instructors, and Carl taught the advanced, and Mel taught the intermediate, I guess you'd call it. We had a good time, and we always had a good time with Pat. Maybe you know his humor. It's very subtle. If you want to learn how to snowboard, that's fine. Why don't you try it, Karen? If you like to fall down the stairs backwards, you can try it. I came up with all those all the time. I never forgot it. Also, we met both Pam and Pat out west skiing one time. And it was a horrible, cruddy snow. This steep hills. Very, very scared I was. And I saw Pat, and I said, I don't know what to do, I can't get down this hill. How about hi, Mom? I don't know, who is she? You put your hand up here, and then you put your hand up here, and you put your hand up here, and you make it down. It worked. Oh God, yes. I'm done.
That was a lot of wisdom there from Karen. Did anybody else get inspired?
There's got to be a couple more stories in this one.
Oh, somebody else.
I remember Karen started even before I took this job, and we were sitting down at one of her ski schools. It was way over there, overlooking the cafeteria, and we would sit over a little heat register. Karen had really pretty white boots, and I had a black magic marker, and I put L and R so she could remember. And she was so irritated about that. Just teacher, don't leave your stuff hanging around, you know.
Okay, well,
Mike?
Is that
John, Mike?
anybody? Bill,
Yeah. Walking's hard, skiing's easy.
you're just like an old World Cup racer, Bill. They can't walk, but they can ski.
When we knew this going, I was trying to think whether I really wanted to say anything, and I really do.
No, that's
So we started out as Tyroleans, and if you're Mount Holly, you know what that is. So that means we always saw from the ski school from the outside. And always thought, well, those guys got it made, man. This is just terrific. But I'll finish that up. But the first time I really spent some time with Pam, Pat and Pam went out east with us on a bus trip to Vermont. Mike Seamark, what was Tim's last name?
Griffin?
Yeah, Tim Griffin. And so they came out and we had a great week of skiing. We're on the bus, we're coming back, and I'm talking, and I look at Pat and Pam, it's like, so what are you guys doing this summer? Pam was still at the law office. I didn't know that. She let me know I have a real job. But boy, I tell you, the more I got involved here at the ski schools, eventually, we started teaching full-time for Pat and Pam. The closer, I'm not choked up, I mostly just got a cake in my throat. The closer you get to see how much she made a hard job look easy, the closer you get to see what she was doing and dealing with day after day, and smiling, and an upbeat attitude, it is an amazing feat. And you left me with a couple of different things. One is, you treated me so well one night. We had an adult group that was going out. I was going to teach it. I was coaching a high school team, and our race went late. Pam came out and visited me twice. And I came in and it's like, Pam, I am so sorry. She said, that's okay, I got something else for you to do. So then I ended up with an adult race group. So I really basically gave her the short end of the stick and got rewarded for it. And so then, now I'm behind the desk, I've learned a couple of things from Pam. One is, No good deed goes unpunished. And the other one is, and I hope she wasn't referring to me when she said this, is nobody likes to be told they're a jerk, even when they're being a jerk. So Pam, thank you. You've made this a lot of fun. You did make it look easy, and it was not.
Boy, these spontaneous efforts are pretty impressive, aren't they? Is that Mark coming up to bat?
Yes, it is.
Mark, have you been around here for a while?
A little bit.
All right. You know Pam?
This is perfect, right here. Well, I think it was about 1986, when I showed up here to do some teaching. I met John Lambert up at Boyne Mountain. We were doing a clinic together, PSIA, and going for whatever certification I was back then, associate or something. And he says, yeah, I said, I'm gonna be teaching at Holly, I tell the group, and he looks down at me and said, yeah, oh, okay. And then I missed the hiring clinic next week, I really to be hired in. So, that started way back then. I taught a little bit, but I was a ski coach, race coach. That's what I did. Started out in Wyoming before I came here. And so spent many years with Mount Holly race team, Thunderbolt, through the years with that, raised my children out here. We had quite a gang of kids. A lot of friends in the room right now. Our kids grew up together. And we've had 4 generations ski out here. Not all of us taught, but we've got 2 out here, 2 generations, and my grandson and Thunderbolt now, so a lot of good years. We've had a lot of great ski trips together, up north, out west. Pat and I have gone on some fishing trips and done a lot of water skiing and stuff in the summer. I can remember one night we were, a good friend of mine, John, we were out here kind of late one night, or it seemed late, but not that late. Pam was still behind the desk, and we were out having a few beers or something, and came back into the ski school desk. We were going to start a golf league. We couldn't get it out. We said ski league, golf league. Remember, we were a little confused or something at the time. Pam's like, sure, that sounds like a good idea. Get our instructors together. And we started that, I believe, way back in the 80s sometime.
There's debate, 88,
and,
89, something.
Yeah, somewhere in there. It's a long time ago.
Co-collaborator Halsey over there.
Yeah, there you go.
So we had we brought that group together for the summer, and we still spend time together in the summer. Anything from groups of water skiers, golfers, surfers, lots of stuff. Kite surfers now. A lot of things our group bring us together as friends, and that's one of the things that look around the room, and lots of friends we went through a lot of years with, and grateful that Pat and Pam have brought us together for all those years.
Okay. Keeps getting better. Anybody else out there? Round takers? See that? If you guys keep drinking more, you're getting the more you drink.
So I just wanted to say a couple things to Pam. She's been so special to Kim and I. When we came into this, we lost a really good friend. Friend passed away. And Tom Andrus, we were mountain biking, and Kim and I were kind of lost. And Tom, this guy from the mountain biking trails, which many of you will know Tom, he said, hey, you should come and teach skiing and snowboarding in Mount Holly, really. You know, we needed something to do. We needed something to come and connect with new people. So we came out, and I came up and I met Pam, and Kim stayed across the room, and Pam's like, oh yeah, you can do that, but what about her? Because at the time, I mean, there weren't very many women instructors. I mean, it's kind of went up and down through the years, and so anyways, she talked Kim into doing it, so we came out to the hiring clinic, and it was Mark, and it was John, and after the first weekend of the hiring clinic or whatever, Kim was put on probation for her skiing ability, which was really great for me, because it was like, she's like, I don't even want to do this in the first place, but that lady, like, she made me do it, and now I'm doing it, and I don't even want to do it, and now I'm on probation for my skiing. So what happened out of that? It was really one of the best things ever, because you know, lifelong friends that we've made with so many of you. Daryl and Linda. You know, Kim was like, yeah, I'm skiing with these two guys. It was Dean and Daryl. And you know, and she started basically working on her skiing with a couple of other people, and and at the time I had met Daryl, and I was like, I don't even think we got along that good at first. I was like, I don't know, why that guy? But, you know, but anyways, it just ended up being such a beautiful thing, same kind of thing, traveling together, going on ski trips with extended family throughout this. You know, I've been around Mount Holly since really I was a little kid. You know, I mean, I worked here, it was my first job, I worked in the cafeteria. I wanted to work in the rental, but my mom knew that this guy back here and his brothers worked in the rental, and I would get in too much trouble if I worked there, so I ended up working in the kitchen. And you know, and even at that time, I spent so much time with the instructors back as a little kid, racing the Newport Light. I had all the cigarette sponsor. The cigarette sponsor. But you know, just through the years, it has just been. I think we talked for 16 years here, and it was just such a rewarding experience all the way around. And I just cherish the friendships, and you know, I learned so much from Pam. In just in business, and just how to treat people and how to work with people, and when you had a mess in front of you, how to sort through that and make it work. And just like other people were saying, it's just always amazing to watch it work. You know, that it actually would, and the skill level it took, and what it took to make those things work. And I just really appreciate you guys so much.
Man, Chad, that came for 16 years. I'm feeling even older now. I walked into the room. It was a heck of a long time ago. Okay. Anybody else?
I don't know a lot of you here, but for years and years, I was practically born here. Up in the up at the fireplace, I used to have my playpen was seated by the jukebox. My grandfather built Mount Holly, and when I turned 17, I met Pam and Pam. They became my director, and I just want to say this was the most awesome place to grow up. You meet so many people, your social skills are just heightened because you meet people from all over the world and you know no strangers. So I just want to thank Pam and Pam. And remember Kinder Sparks when we first started, you guys? Oh my gosh, I started this program a long time ago because I was young and ambitious, of course. And we started this thing called Kinder Sparks, and it went crazy. And we would cover these hills. And sure than shit, no matter, every time we got down to the hill, with all the kids dressed up, somebody had to go potty. And if you can imagine at the time going all the way from the bunny hill, all the way back up here, and take them all the way back down. And it took a lot of people, and some of you people here helped me with that program, and it was just a great thing. And I'm sure that we taught a lot of kids. And years later, I'd go up north skiing and stuff, and I've always had this long hair, you know, and I had braids, and I always had these crazy hats, because you know, when you grow up in the scary business, at the end of the year, there's always stuff left over. And the best thing about it is years ago, we used to, at the end of the year, at this time of year, when it started getting kind of cruddy, my mother ran the ticket office for many years for my grandfather. And we would go into the high, you know, where everything's left for the year, these boxes of just stuff.
Lost and
And
found.
lost and found. Yeah, think about it. And we would dress up what was ever in there. I mean, skirts and sweaters, and the boys would put all this crazy stuff on. And we would go out there and make these most craziest movies. I wish we could find them, but we had the best movies of just being silly at the end of the year, going through the water and being crazy. But anyway, on behalf of our family and my grandfather and all the Hankses, I just want to thank you guys very much for all the fun we had and for being able to grow up here and just be a part of it. I love you.
Yes, that's a Bobby Jacobs connection there. Where's Bobby? Is he still in there?
He grew up here too.
Yeah, so, anyway, she met my crazy sister. So like Laura said, we grew up in Mount Holly, and we were blessed to have the Henry Walders and the Walter Rumens and the Bob Whedons, and then Pat Dybel and John Dybel.
Erica.
And Erica, well, think about Erica from the Chalet Shop, and think about the dedication of the Mr. and Mrs. Gillespie. You know, they were all here together. But you're right, Pam exemplified how to treat people. I was a terrible teenager. But we loved skiing. John Lambert, there was a time when Johnny Lambert and I, we would train on Canyon. We wouldn't even use the chairlift, that's how much energy we had. We'd set a course and we'd walk every time and analyze our turns, because we wanted to be good. We wanted to be good like Mike Berry and like John Dybel. Where's John? But I envy these people, just so you know, growing up. I had a lot of people to look up to, and you two were very much a part of it growing up. So thank you very much, and congratulations. Oh, and I want to thank Pam for bringing me back. And I've been happily employed here at Mount Holly for 3 years again now. And this is my 43rd season as a ski teacher. So I'm going to keep going.
All right, Reem, we would expect no less from you.
Hi, my name's Reem. I just got out of working at the bar downstairs. I had to beg, be, plead, and beg. Yeah. Come on, here. So, this is my 29th season here. I know, but I'm only 12. Thank you. I just want to share a little funny story about Pam. Yeah, so I got hired here by the skin of my teeth. I was basically told, look, you're a good teacher. And then that year, I became a better skier. So I go out west with a group of these guys, Pam Pack, Holzbeck, Halsey. We had a van, it was fun, with a church name on the back. Okay, Tam. And we're all on Regulator Johnson. And Tam and I are like frozen. What happened? We kind of came back through the, I think Holzbeck was up front, and then he said it, and Tam said it. first year skier out last time, freaking out, and they're like, Pam just went over the edge. Do you remember this?
It's the worst fall of my life.
Oh my God. Tam and I kind of edged up to the edge, didn't we? We looked down and, I mean, you guys know what out west is like. Halfway down their scale, you know? Got that part. He pulls back and Pat, you went and rescued her. Needless to say, we went to the bar that day. Finished out our fun day at West, and then they got me involved in rollerblading and pine knob in the fall. Remember that?
Yes.
Wow.
That was horrible.
I had that nice strawberry, remember?
I know, right? And,
Oh my
but
God.
thank you for everything, because I'm still here all these years later. And I would have never made it to Argentina without these two telling me to get a hold of Al Kreider and go to Las Linas. And you guys have been amazing to me, and I'm so sad to see you go, but I know you're not going. So, I just remember that trip, and Tam and I were frozen in our tracks. I don't know how we made it down. Thank you. I love you guys.
Kurt, yeah, anybody else before Kurt comes up and says his thing?
No family secrets.
They set the bar high for you.
How do I follow Dave Turry and everybody else? There's a big sentiment in the room all these years, and I came in much later than most of this room. I came in the mid to late 90s, and well, Pam and I became friends. I knew Pam, but we became friends when one day I was in the ticket lobby scrounging around for a free lift ticket, trying to get somebody to go ask Pam to get one for me. And found somebody that went up there to get one for me, and he says, Pam, can Kurt have a ticket? And she goes, yeah, sure. And he goes, and then he wants to know how come you hate him, and he turns around and walks away. And I think Pam laughed just like that right there. And kind of ever since, I've been involved here since that conversation. One year I broke my shoulder, was in a sling. She put me to work behind the desk. The next spring she gave me a key to the house. It was that kind of relationship for Pam and I. And over the last 20, 22, 23, 5 years, however many that may be, like so many others in the room, we all know each other because of you and have great experiences and memories. Like I almost killed her cat. I could go on and on and on like everybody else in the room, folks, but what a special time, and I wish you guys the best and everything you want to do, and thank God you're retiring, but you're not quitting.
Okay. Turn the mic off on me. Yeah. All right, last call?
No.
All right, it's my turn then, and I think we have one more speaker after me. So, as somebody else already mentioned, I think Mark, when Pat was running the place here, Pam was working as a paralegal, and she was actually, of course, as you all know, Pat sometimes needs a little bit of organizational help and support. You might say she was playing a vital role behind the scenes with the legal practice also going on there. And then, of course, she took over and put together a big group of people, most of us here in this room, and managed to teach so many people over the years and create all these friendships. On track there again, behind the scenes. And so, but the two of them, obviously the business was their business, and they really worked it together as a team. It was the magic of them being together as the team that really made this thing kind of happen and go. And so one of the things that Pat told Jeff over the last year or two was that if he ever had a retirement party for him like this, Pat would kill Jeff. And so I said, well, Jeff, I'm much older and closer to death than you are. So let me be the one to kind of put my neck on the chopping block here. So let's expand this party just a little bit, and with Dave Torrey's help here in the background, let's take a look at what we've got here. Now, one thing that you'll notice is, hold on, we just have to get everybody to make sure you can see that. That is the result of 50 years of leadership in the industry. That's what happens to a person. You have all these instructors over the years. And I just have to take a moment to say, Tom Halsey, genius. He is the man who put together our entrance poster over here. This poster over here, and this other poster over here right now. And if you can see that was a great shot. That's actually taken on top of Pine Knob right there. So Mount Holly is in the background. At night you can actually see the lights of Mount Holly. So this 5 decades thing, I mean, I want to put that into perspective for people. It was 1936 when the first Alberg School was done at Stowe, which it was Mount Mansfield then, it's now Stowe. And so for more than really half the formal period of ski instruction in this country, these two have played a big role in ski instruction over that year. I mean,
said one time that we're a little bit like the British government, where there's a parliament and a prime minister, and then the queen. And I'm like the queen, just kind of everything's going right away. Walk into Mount Holly and look around. But yes, pain.
So it was 1936. We can see that one of the things that Tom Halsey did up there, he put that nice little Sun Valley sticker in the corner there. 1936 was when the first chairlift ever in this country was put up, and it was put up there at Sun Valley. And so that was just a tremendous period of influence. In fact, doing some looking back, it actually turns out that there were about 3 U of M stadiums worth of people that they have influenced by teaching. Stop and think about the number of people that is. Now, even if you take the industry standard in terms of how many people actually are recurring and come back and be part of the ski instruction, that's a lot of lives that have impacted and to have had an influence on over that period of time. And then think about the economic impact. All of the pairs of skis, all the ski clothing, all the airplane fares, all the lodging, all of the people that bought vacation homes somewhere that resulted from this. I mean, it's actually pretty staggering when you kind of think about the multiplying effect that goes on through time of their career and what they had there. And of course, as we've all talked about, somehow or another to make what is a very tough job seemed like it was fun. I think most of us, the reason we're still around here is because we were having fun while we were doing it. And for those real old timers in the room, the parties back at Nanjo's, which is closed but still down the road, an empty building here, the Nachos. And I wonder if anybody would be able to calculate what their bar bill for buying beer for instructors over the years might tally up to if we were to really try to look at it. And the other thing too is, over the period in time, we were all making more money than they were making per hour at Aspen or Vail or any of the destination resorts. So that's really where the sharing idea comes in I mean, incredibly, incredibly generous. And really, when you get down to it, it's because, you know, that we've all felt it, the caring that they bring, and whether it was for us, for other people, or for cats, stray dogs, whatever, it was always showing up, and they're caring for things. So let's go ahead and have another toast here for Pat and Pam and all those wonderful years.
You guys don't have drinks though, you gotta.
It's almost bear break time here. But with all this, you know, nice talk and festivities and everything, I did want to mention that when I did walk, Pat walked into my office, that was somewhere in the mid-70s, and he said, do I want to come and teach for him? And I was teaching at Pine Knob at the time, and I said, hell yes, because I was not happy at Pine Knob at the time. And so then I came and talked with Pat, and his first assignment was he sent me out to evaluate this guy that he was thinking about hiring, and it was Mike Berry, who unfortunately can't be here with us tonight. But you know, you take about 2 runs with Mike Berry in between talking to him on the chairlift and, you know, having him ski down, and then you go like, Pat, you know, get this guy signed as fast as you can. We need this guy to teach for us. And then, of course, after that came the Touries and the Lamberts, and then all of a sudden there was this young kid by the name of Sean and his brother Jeff and his other brother Craig, and they just started hanging around these little ankle biter kids that were teaching. And so the King brothers ended up becoming part of the world at that point in time. And so everything kind of grew and evolved from there. But one thing that I do have to say, though, is with all the festiveness, is there is a little bit of sad news that I have to give them. And Pat and Pam, I'm sorry, but the trip that we were planning to go on the 3rd week of this March, Carrie and I cannot go on the trip with you because all the people in this room here have contributed, and we're sending you to your destination that was on your bucket list, Sun Valley, for a week. You guys are going out the 3rd week of March, and you're staying at Sun Valley.
And we're all gonna crash it.
There you go.
Well, we're all coming.
A few of us will be there. And so with that, Jeff, I think if you wanted to wrap up with any comments?
Okay.
Okay.
She didn't hear.
She doesn't know.
Hey, Mike, did you do that all over again?
The big boss.
The big boss, Mr. Tibbetts.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
So,
boy.
I had to get him called.
Is he kicking us out?
Yeah.
As long as you want.
We're not leaving till Ron Skinner kicks us
So,
out.
I told him that the other day.
Tell her again. Tell her again. Tell her
Oh.
again.
somewhere.
We're not going on our trip up to the UP because that was just another ruse that we've been pulling on you.
Going to old folks home.
Because all these people are sending you on your bucket list trip to Sun Valley for the week.
For real.
I've had the privilege of working with some of the best skiers in the world, right here, and some of the best people in the world. Can't believe that's happened. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This was supposed to be all about Pam.
It's pretty intertwined. mine.
Two of you.
Yes.
Always has been.
I'm Jeff King, and I was the ankle biter that Mike was And Bill was talking about me too, one of those people that makes Pam's life unbearable. I worked for her when I think I turned 15. I came out here, and I absolutely love how Pam ran the ski school. We had a work ethic of working hard. I think we did 3 student lessons a night, like 25 kids every single night, and it was wild. And I learned as a kid about working hard, but also we had incredible fun. They were incredibly generous to us. We loved to race, and they would let us take their gates and set them up out there and be a part of skiing with Mike Berry and John and Mark in the pre-Thunderbolt days of Mount Holly ski team. And it was an unbelievable way to grow up out here. To see how Pam would manage all of these people, all these different people, and to be so kind and respectful to them, right? Like, that's what was amazing. I felt like she really valued and cared about me, right? Not just a kid.
It's amazing she's lived through it.
It is. And so when Pam was done at Bittersweet, he went to Pine Knob when they got the ski school at Pine Knob. And I thought I got an awesome sort of like, I don't know, like an upgrade. Like, we need you, a promotion to go to Pine Knob and help lead the way. Well, it wasn't exactly that, because I found out, you know, a long time later that I was one of those troubled kids. And I had no idea, you know, like I thought I was really liked over here, so. So I went on and went over to Pine Knob, and that's where I got to know Pat, and what an amazing guy he is. And I mean, look at this picture, especially this one of you guys in Florida. Like, this is a cool guy, right? Like, there is something about this man that is really special, right? And we all know that. There's some about him and his caring attitude, why these two are such a great pair, is that complement each other so well. The caring for people. I remember so many times Kat saying, when we're dealing with some, you know, teenage kid like me, but a few years later when I'm a little older, like, hey, this is just a part of what we do. It's important, this is a fun job, but it's also a little bit of like real life, and we've got to take these kids and help them to understand a little bit about what it is to grow up to be men and women. And I just thought, that is so cool, because these kids are such a pain in the neck. I can't like this. But they've been there and done that. And I really feel like I'm a product of watching these guys and how they ran their business. I ran a few businesses. I loved working really hard. I loved having fun. I loved when Pat would buy us beers. Right? Like, that's really cool. That's graciousness and just giving, you know, like, it wasn't all about taking from us. Like, I felt like we were in it together, and I think that's how probably everybody here felt working with them. So, I just wanted to say thank you very much. I stinking love my job. I talk about standing on the shoulders of giants. You know, the way that these guys have run a business and been able to do it with so much fun and graciousness and kindness and caring for all of us. It just blows my mind. So anyways, I am as grateful as a guy can be for having been given the opportunity to know you guys, to be able to take on and keep what you've started going. So I really appreciate you guys.
Okay, I think that kind of officially ended everything, except if somebody was inspired and you still want to grab the microphone. All right, and other than that, if we don't eat this stuff, you're all taking a doggy bag home with you. There's lots to drink here, so let's try to clean things up. Thank you for everybody for coming out.
Hey, where's Woody?
Where is Woody?
He's somewhere.